What's up, guys? Coach Seth here, Superior Athletes, and today we're going to be talking about increasing your vertical jump. It's going to be a little bit unique, so it's going to be unique to the concentric force of the movement. Okay, so we've talked about eccentric, we've talked about isometric, and now I want to talk about concentric. So those are the three main points of movements through the jump. And breaking them down like this is going to be critical whenever you're talking about max force and max increase of the vertical. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. If you're new here, my name is Seth Thomas. I'm a strength and conditioning coach, and I'm help you guys become better athletes for basketball. So if you're interested in more videos just like this one, make sure to subscribe and click the bell to get notified for each one of my videos. As always, for all my links and notes, make sure to check the description box below, as well as my channel merch. All right, so as I said, we've talked about eccentric a lot, the eccentric movement of the jump. And if you don't know, the eccentric movement of the jump is basically just on the way down until you get to the bottom. Whenever you get to the bottom, that's where the isometric plays in. Isometric just means like your ability to maintain a stiffness of the movement. So it's the hold part of the movement. So if you really like hold at the bottom of the squat, that would be an isometric movement. And that plays a part into that isometric part of the movement. But today we're going to be talking about the concentric, which is basically on the way up. So this is what is going to produce force. So this is your body's ability to produce force. Obviously, we need both of the eccentric and isometric to help play into the concentric. But what really is going to develop those fast twitch muscle fibers is going to be the concentric. So I wanted to talk about a couple of exercises that's going to help with this sort of thing. All right, so a good exercise I like for this, we're going to talk about plyometrics first, and then we can talk about a couple strength exercises. So as far as plyometrics go, you know, I like to kind of take away the eccentric and the isometric. Maybe isometric might play in it a little bit technically, but for this one, it's definitely taking that eccentric out, which eccentric, it might not seem like it, but it plays a big part in how well you can go concentrically. So taking that out is creating that challenge. With the seated jump or seated box jump, that takes that eccentric and isometric out of this situation. So there's a couple different ways you can do this. With me, I don't like to go too low with this. So it's not as simple as sitting in a chair. You want it to make it seem like it's the bottom of your jump. And whenever we're at the bottom of our jump, it's not like we're in a full range of motion squat. We don't go that low whenever we jump. It's really about 90 degrees with all the joints. So at the hip joint, the knee joint, and the ankle joint, they're all pretty close to 90 degrees there. And so you got to think about that whenever you're setting the height of the seat. If you're at home and you just need something to put there, just put like some books there or something, because we want to release, okay? So it's not about just getting in that position, because you could do that if you wanted to, but what we're really talking about is the release of the muscles and tendons. And in order to get that, we need to be seated in order to get that release of the muscles, because that's what I'm looking for here. And it really takes away your ability to go down at all. So if you were to if you didn't have a seat or anything like that and you just went in that position and then you decided to go, you're naturally going to absorb a little bit more anyways. So this is, for the most part, this is going to really take that away. So there's a couple different ways you can do this. So one way I've done is to lean forward and have the arms back, just like you're in that bottom part of the jump. And because that way we don't lean back and then use a bunch of momentum to go forward. That's a kind of a variation that you could work with there. But if we want full concentric, we're going to get in that bottom position there. And an even better way to do this is to have someone give you a cue. So have a partner give you a cue, say go, and then your reaction is to tense up and then spring up. That would be a good way to get those muscle fibers going and that fast twitch reaction going with just that concentric there. A kind of variation that I've done is I call them rock seated jumps. So we're just going to rock back with kind of that stiffness of the position, and then as soon as our feet hit, that's when we spring up. It's kind of a variation that I've liked and played around with. You could try that one out as well and see how you like it. But we're focusing on max jumps here. So we're not getting like 15 reps or something like that. Go with a low amount of reps, 4 to 6, and then rest for about a minute and a half at least before you hit another set. Because we are working on that max velocity of the movement. All right, so as far as strength goes, there's a few different ways you can do these as well. You could just go with like some box squats or something like that. And with force, with velocity, we're focusing on going fast. So if you're going in a slow movement, that's not necessarily working on your vertical. You're going to be working on a lot of strength and a lot of durability and hypertrophy, which is all really good. We need to add that in there too as well. But if you want that max velocity, we're going to lower the weight and we're going to go as fast as we can. So we want enough weight to where it's going to be challenging, but we don't want so much weight to where we're going at a slow movement. So you kind of have to fill it out and feel what works best for you. So you could just simply go down slow in that seated box position. And it's almost the same thing, except we're adding weight to it. Once we get there, we're going to do a little pause, kind of do a little release of the muscles, and then you're going to spring up as hard as you can. You could do this with other things as well, as far as like going down slow, eccentrically, pausing at the bottom, and then going up fast. So that actually does a couple different things too. So you're going to be working on the eccentric strength kind of, and also a little bit of that isometric with that hold. And then you're really going to be working on that concentric force with going up fast. So that is actually a good way to work a little bit of all of them in kind of different ways. So those are a couple tips I wanted to talk about today of concentric force, concentric velocity, just focusing on increasing that vertical jump. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, make sure to subscribe and click the bell to get notified for each one of my videos. And I'll see you guys next time.